Welcome back to the P-Dub Report. We got a little bit of a kick in the dick this past week. Primetime games with some bad beats. We'll talk about a couple of cold Sundays in a row. We had a couple of massive Sundays in a row. It's just the variance of sports betting. Scott, how we feeling? New week, new money. Time to bounce back here.
Getting kicked in the dick is right, man. Painful. Confidence going crazy. Free pick lost. Got the lead play got blown out. Yeah, I'm feeling like I got kicked in the dick, but I've never been more confident because that's how we roll here. But real quick, let me do a little recap. Thursday, we're in perfect position. Niners Seahawks, we got a teaser plus 10.5. And if they break a 76-yard run, when all they needed was 2 first downs and the game's over, right? Then we go to Sunday, free pick of the week, New York Giants. I pumped it up all week. What happens? Bad beat, 30-yard run. All it needs is a first down. Same situation in all these games. All it needs is 1 first down. The game's over. And they get a 30-yard touchdown. He could have slid, and it could have been over. So if he slides, he's a rookie. I think who was it? I forget who it was, but he's a rookie running back, I believe.
Chase Brown, I believe, yep.
Yes, Chase Brown. Thank you. And then last night, I pumped the Jets up. And the Jets have every chance in the world. The holding call on the 1, the 2 missed field goals. Zerline can suck my freaking cock. It sucks. The guy's terrible, man. And he was laughing on the sidelines, which made me even more mad. All us Jets backers should be fired up about Zerline and his antics on the sideline, man. At least look like you care. But what happens today with the Jets, we'll talk about it shortly, but the Adams news breaks today after Mike Williams runs the wrong route on the INT. I could go on and on, but we don't make excuses here. That's not something we do here. We got kicked in the dick, like you said, but we recover and we move on. We'll get ready for Thursday night.
Yeah, we enjoy the lucky wins. The unlucky losses always sting, but that's the variance of betting, guys. And sticking to a strong system, it'll play out over through the variance of sports betting. Can't get away from it. So hope you guys got a strong stomach. That's what the NFL will do to you. Some other stuff that just kind of went down over the week. Obviously, the London game, Jacksonville. I'm surprised. I mean, we had some big trade news we're going to get into. I'm surprised we haven't had coach firings. How have we not had coach firings on this Tuesday? Philly, the issues with Sirianni, the fact that Doug Peterson is still an NFL coach now. This is Tuesday. We're recording this on a Tuesday. Blows my mind. I don't know how he's still around. But yeah, some very disappointing performances over the weekend. Some big blowout wins. Some teams, Tampa Bay putting up over 50. Detroit getting their offensive linemen some touchdowns. Just crazy week altogether.
Insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, Detroit, they look like they're playing a high school team. I mean, honestly. I don't even know what to say about that game because we were on the Cowboys big, and I don't know how McCarthy's still there either. God, on Jerry Jones' birthday, they get blown out. But we'll have that conversation here in a minute. But let's get right into it, Ben. We're talking about what? The bottom 5 teams in the NFL? Who you got?
Yeah, bottom 5 teams. And we're going to do this one. Just kind of list them off for you guys. We're each going to have our own list here. Just talk about some of the disappointing performances. Jacksonville Jaguars have to be. And I'm going to go, somewhat order here, but no specific order. Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to put them at 5 because I think they're better. Maybe I'm naive for thinking they're better than they are, but Jacksonville Jaguars are my number 5 slot team here as far as worst in the NFL. Number 4, Carolina Panthers. We got that one exciting win when Andy Dalton first takes over. They beat up on a Raiders team in a bad spot, and then they go right back to being the Carolina Panthers. Number 3 on my list here. A little bit tough. I don't know how you feel about this one. I know you might have them number 1. You don't hate them, but the Vegas Raiders. Just some tough games. And, they go against these matchups against rosters that are similarly built to theirs, defensive-minded team, bad offense like the Steelers, and they just don't look like they can compete. So it's just tough when you play a team built like you and you're just not even in the same level playing field. The Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson, 0 for 26 on their last 26 third down attempts. You can't convert a third down. You're basically playing football, just trying to go on first and second. They're my second worst team and the worst team in the NFL, the New England Patriots. This Patriots team, don't get me wrong, there were some positives there with Drake May. They give him some reps. They had their first 35-yard touchdown and I don't know how long. So big plays, yes, but disgusting turnovers, sloppy across the board. And that's my bottom 5 teams, topped off by New England. Crazy, man. It's crazy already just how bad some of these teams. Browns obviously making some trades now. The Raiders who are in there making some trades. We're going to talk about those next. But clearly bottom teams, they're making moves already.
Yeah, I've talked about those, how bad the Raiders are going to be and are throughout the season. I bet my barber, I've said this before on previous shows, under 4.5 wins. They're not getting 5 wins. I'm going to cash that ticket. I'm going to have free haircuts for a year. But anyways, that's my number 5 team, the Raiders. They don't have a quarterback. Their defense is okay. We've talked about it, but they can't score. So the Raiders are going to continue to be a bottom barrel team. Now they get rid of Devontae Adams. They're throwing in the towel. Pierce, are you going to be there next year? I don't know. I do like Pierce, though. I like his coaching style. He's got a little Dan Campbell to me in him a little bit. That players coach type of situation there. They're my number 5 team. Number 4, they got a decent defense. But you got Will Levis at quarterback. You're a fucking horrible team. The Tennessee Titans are my number 4 team. They're not going to do shit this year. 3, the Jags. Now, that was disgusting in London. I was texting Ben during the game about how frustrated I was. We were on the Jags this week. I expected them to win that ball game. I've taken them as a free pick and cashed about 3 weeks ago. It's just they're getting worse, and the defense is horrible, and they can't convert a fucking third down or get off the field. It's disgusting. My number 2 team, I agree with you, the Patriots. Drake May, we saw some positive things there this week, but the team is just absolutely awful. I mean, they're awful. And my number 1 team, I'm with you there in the bottom 5, the Carolina Panthers. I think everybody watching this video would agree. Dalton has 1 game, and I do like the Red Rifle. I do like him as a quarterback, but if you can't play defense, you're not going to win ball games at all. Now they got a bad offense and a bad defense. They're just going to be the worst team in the NFL. Those are my bottom 5 teams: Raiders, Titans, Jags, Pats, and Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina, obviously, when, Andy Dalton first took over, there's a lot of, trade rumors around Bryce Young. Where's he going to go? There should be some trade rumors about Andy Dalton. Some of these solid teams with some quarterback issues, maybe they should take a chance, we'll see, or even just as a backup spot. A lot of injuries. I'll be interested to see if Andy Dalton gets sent anywhere. But we have had 2 big trades go down today. This happened just a few hours ago. 2 wide receivers from 2 of those teams we just talked about. Amari Cooper off to Buffalo, and Devontae Adams returning to his dear buddy Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Saw them play last night on Monday Night Football. Both thought they needed more wide receiver help. Who knows if they were interested in the other, and if the Jets were maybe shopping Cooper and the Bills were maybe shopping Adams also. But that's where they ended up, Scott. How do you feel about that trade or those 2 trades? Who do you think gets the better of it? And on both sides, what do you think of the return also for the 2 lesser teams?
I just love that it was simultaneous, honestly. You hear about the Adams news break right after we get beat on a tough one with the Jets. So I would have loved to have him last night instead of Mike Williams, who sucks. I don't know what happened to Mike Williams on that note. I loved him with the Chargers. Now he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing out there. But on the Adams news, I love it. Obviously, what's not to like? I mean, outside of Wilson, right? I mean, you've got Conklin. They still need, that 1-2 punch. Now the Jets look like, well, I'm not going to call him a contender, but Rodgers with his buddy back in action. You saw him on the McAfee show together this morning. Aaron Rodgers smiling from ear to ear. I obviously love the move for the Jets. Like I said, I would have loved to have him last night. And now the Bills with Cooper really can't go wrong there. He was really unhappy in Cleveland. Now the Bills get another weapon. So this AFC East just got a lot more interesting in terms of depth into the playoff picture. I'm not going to call the Jets a playoff contender. They were plus 3,000 before the trade with Adams. Now they're still plus 3,000 on DK as far as Super Bowl champs. But I think, it does a lot for both teams. So, I love it for both teams. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, as far as Buffalo, I'm going to be interested because Josh Allen, the offense is definitely taking a step back, but Josh Allen's, I'll argue, with playing his best football of his career. No turnovers so far. He's been, turnover prone in the past. That's been his biggest issue. Bringing in Amari Cooper in the mix midseason, does that start to, help that, hurt that? We'll see. As far as the Jets, I said it last week, the front office can't get complacent. They can't, remove Saleh and be like, okay, everything should be good. You guys should be playing winning football now. They need to make some moves. In addition to Adams, they gave Reddick, the right to seek trade, which I think is stupid. You traded for him, pay the man. He's one of the best defensive players in the NFL. Don't know why they're being hesitant to pay him. So that part frustrates me a little bit, but at least the front office is making a move. And I got a follow-up question for you here. Bengals weren't involved in the trade, but we got a couple of pretty, good 2-4 teams, slight plus money right now to make the playoffs. The books aren't giving up on them, and the Jets and the Bengals. Which of those 2 teams, 2-4, do you think has a better chance to make it in?
So I'm not too high on the Bengals, man. I know a lot of people are. They're putting up points. But again, the offense didn't show up against a decent, Giants defense. Like I told you guys earlier in the show, I was on the Giants. I don't like the Bengals. I really think the Jets are in a much stronger slot. Now I'm not looking at strength of schedule. I don't have it in front of me right now, so that could definitely sway my opinion. But if you're asking me from just, out of the dark, I'm thinking Jets are in a stronger position. Bengals struggling. I'm just not high on the team. Burrow, obviously, he's a great quarterback, but I'm just not high on the Bengals.
Yeah, right now the Jets currently listed at plus 145 to make the playoffs. And I'm trying to find the Bengals here on DraftKings. There it is. Bengals plus 115. So, but honestly, not that, considering they're both 2-4 teams, that's pretty generous on the books on both those teams to come out and pull around. And we've seen Rodgers make late runs. We'll see if that happens again this season. On to week 7 for you guys, though. A lot of good matchups coming up in week 7. A lot of stuff coming your guys' way. We're going to just touch on 2 of the big name matchups coming up for this week, and then obviously get into the free pick, survivor pick, as well as some long shot props and everything else for you guys. So some of it's going to be a little bit redundant. We'll see how much crosses over here, but we're going to start off here with Super Bowl rematch this week. 49ers, Kansas City. Always, a big name. Last year we saw it with the Niners in a revenge game. Eagles beat them in the NFC Championship game. They go into Philly, absolutely dominate them. In the last couple of matchups, Chiefs have had their number, not just in the playoffs, but in the regular season as well. A couple years back, they go into San Francisco in the regular season, give them a double-digit beatdown. Scott, how you feeling about this game? Obviously, the Chiefs off a bye week. The Niners, they played Thursday Night Football, so they get extra rest as well. Weird it's not a primetime game, but we have a Super Bowl rematch. Do the Niners get their revenge on their home field?
Well, first of all, the 49ers have never beat the Reed-Mahomes combo. Never have beat the Reed-Mahomes combo. Niners coming in a little injury prone. Like, there's some question marks here. Mason going to play questionable. Mustafa, Shavarius Ward, Moody's hurt as well. Special teams issues. Obviously, no Pacheco, no Rice for the Chiefs. Again, I'm not that high on the Niners as everybody else is. I know you're higher on the Niners. You like the Niners. I see some holes and some issues. They did have a great game in the run defense against the Seahawks, where I thought they had a few holes. They only gave up 52 yards against the Hawks. So we'll see, though. Can Kansas City, they need to establish the run. Can Kareem Hunt get it going? Because look at the receiving core against a pretty good 49ers secondary. Watson, Juju, Xavier Worthy. Obviously, you got Kelsey there as well. But are they going to be able to establish the run to be able to get open against that secondary? I don't know. That's going to be the biggest challenge. That's going to be the biggest difference in the game, if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely going to be a big factor there. And you touched on, them not beating the Mahomes and Reed duo. And that's kind of the biggest question we have in this game, right? Because revenge is a big get-up game, and it's a thing, all teams have circled on the schedule. But there's also ownership, and which kind of, balances out. We can think of an easy revenge example. It's college football, but this year, Washington, Michigan, national championship rematch, and Washington takes care of business on their home field, as typically you get in revenge situations. But ownership is a different story. It doesn't matter if there's revenge or what kind of, motive there is behind it. Sometimes you just can't beat a certain team. And I'll say this, Andy Reid off a bye week, not someone I ever want to have to play for any reason.
I would agree with you. And obviously, I think Shanahan's got to take this personally, right? They're going to get up for this game. It's at Levi Stadium. You think the line is right? You think the Niners should be favored? Niners -1, I think, is most current line, 47.5 being the total. You think that's right on the number?
It's tough, man. We talked about this a few weeks ago when we did the top 5 teams. Said we did bottom 5, but when we did top 5, talked about it. Kansas City, they might not be the best team. Like, I said this to my buddy, right? I've thought the Ravens are the best team in the NFL for the last 2 years. But if you put the Chiefs and the Ravens on the exact same schedule, the Ravens would have a better, plus-minus differential. They'd have a better record. But the Chiefs in that matchup will always find a way. And I don't know why. I think probably be San Fran a little bit higher of a favorite. But that you can't quantify Kansas City, and they always find a way, especially in this matchup. Down double digits multiple times, doesn't matter. Mahomes finds a way to come back and bite them in the ass. So I'm not going to say it's wrong. I think it's about right. You can't make San Francisco a home dog. And you can't go too much higher than the one. I think books are spot on here. Tough game all around. Tough game.
You hit Yeah, I mean, I think you hit it right on the head. I mean, Chiefs, obviously, we talked about it on previous shows. They could have 3 or 4 losses very easily, right? They
Very
got
easily.
lucky in one way or another to close out those games. Niners coming in 3-3. Here's just some food for thought, you guys, as you listen to this show. DK, DraftKings has the Chiefs at plus 500 to win the Super Bowl at number 1 and the 49ers at number 2 at plus 700. So those are the top 2 to win the Super Bowl. They're in a Super Bowl matchup. We got the Niners -1 at home. So you put them on a neutral field. You got the Chiefs favored by, let's call it 1.5. So, I mean, it's right there. Should be a great game. I wish it was a primetime game, honestly. I mean, it's a 1:25 game Pacific time for me on Sunday. So.
And how crazy is that the Niners only have 500 records, still second favorites to win the Super Bowl? That's how much respect they get from the books.
So much respect from the books, but not from P-Dub.
P-Dub, you got your respect flipped around on this next matchup we're going to talk about. We got the Lions and the Vikings. You showed a little bit of disrespect to Detroit this past week, and Dan Campbell kind of put you in your seat a little bit. I see you rocking the Goff jersey. A little change of heart this week.
Dude, shame on me, bro. I went big on the Cowboys this last week. I put them in a couple teasers, and I got slapped in the head. Holy shit, did Detroit make that look like a high school football team? Now, I know they were battered, the Cowboys, but Detroit did some things and did whatever they wanted. Now, let's talk about this matchup against the Vikings. Vikings coming off a bye. Divisional matchup. We got 2 great defenses. 2nd in the NFL in points allowed, the Lions 5th in the NFL in points allowed. Lions 1st in the NFC or the NFL in points per game. The Vikings 6th in the NFL. This is going to be a great matchup. Now we have the Aiden Hutchinson news. That was gnarly. That break, holy shit, that changes a few things on the defensive side of the ball for the Lions. But, I mean, are the Vikings for real? Their fucking secondary, we talked about it in our previous show. They were 30th in the NFL or 32nd. I think they were worse in the NFL at that point. They're 27th in passing yards per game. Nope. Here's the kicker, though. Detroit has to establish the run in this game. They have to establish the run in this game. If they are able to do that, I think Goff is able to pick them apart. Honestly, I think Goff's able to pick them apart. They will do their things on offense. Don't get me wrong. The Vikings will do their thing. Justin Jefferson will get open. I just think the Lions they're a force to reckon with, man. Holy shit, they looked good. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, they absolutely did look good. I'm a bit worried about the Hutchinson injury. Their defense has shown signs of weaknesses in certain matchups. We saw Seattle be able to go kind of toe-to-toe with them. And you got Minnesota off the bye. And we keep asking this question, are the Vikings real? Are they going to be a real threat? You couldn't ask for a better opportunity to get the reigning division champs on your home field out of a bye. I mean, their star player getting hurt. This is an absolute must win if you're the Minnesota Vikings. If you want to say you're legit, that we can have a chance to win this division, you couldn't have had it chopped up any better as far as Hutchinson getting hurt, getting the bye, heading into this game, relatively healthy across the board on your team. Big game for Minnesota. I mean, as far as must wins, this is an absolute must win. We'll see if they get up and can back it up. And I'm very interested to see defensively how Detroit handles the Hutchinson injury. They have shown signs of weaknesses. They absolutely didn't last week against Dallas, made them look silly. But in the prior weeks of the season, they have shown weaknesses against the Rams when they were early on in the year when Rams were depleted offensively with Kupp and Angulo. It didn't matter. They still found ways to drive. And then Geno Smith, he was able to put some damage on them as well. We'll see what we got going on here, but it'll be Vikings or nothing for me in this one.
Let me ask you a quick question. On the total, sitting at 48.5, you think the line is a little short?
A little bit short, yes, I would say. Now, both our Vikings have been very turnover heavy, and Goff has been very good at taking care of the football this season. I mean, nearly perfect. So that's where I think it's going to be the difference on the total here, and a little bit to the side as well. If Goff is able to take care of the football, I think we're going to see a little bit more slower drives, obviously, with Dan Campbell on 4th down. So, if he's close enough, he's not going to punt it anyway. So we'll see what happens there. I lean over on the total, but it's going to come down to Vikings have been top of the league in turnovers all year. Can they turn over the guy who literally 2 weeks ago was a perfect 18 for 18 and has just been very good at taking care of the football?
So for me, I'm leaning the other way, and this is why. It's a little bit of the eye test for me. I feel like you see these two teams and these high-powered offenses, they put up points this year. I think you're going to get a little more of that Dan Campbell, that slow pace, time of possession, keeping the ball out of the opponent's hands because they are such a skilled offensive ball club. I think we're going to get a little bit of a different strategy, a divisional matchup, kind of a grueling 23-20 type of game.
Yep.
And it could really go either way, but I'm leaning Lions. I've got the jersey on. I got my Jared Goff. Just so you guys know, I grew up around the same town as Jared Goff. Got a little love for him. His dad was my hitting coach growing up, playing ball. So, and if you don't know who Jerry Goff is, he used to play for the Astros. He was a catcher, and he's got the record for most pass balls in one game. I believe he had 6 pass balls. Just a little side note there for you. But yeah, I'm on the Lions this week. We'll talk a little bit about that here in a second.
Yeah, I'll just let you go right ahead and into it. You can go ahead and say with some more chess. What's the free pick of the week we got coming up here for the P-Dub Nation?
I mean, we're going Lions, baby. I've lost 2 free picks in a row. Excuse me.
3 on the year.
I advertise them on social media. I go in confident, and I'm getting slapped around in the comments. I'm going to slap it back this week. I'm going biggest NFC, well, not biggest, but one of the biggest matchups of the week. We're going Lions. We've just talked about it. Honestly, I think it's a motivational spot for them as well. They're going to be up for this game anyway, but I think, Aiden Hutchinson just getting hurt, a little motivational spot for them, a little gritty. I like the locker room of the Lions, Goff giving the game ball back to Campbell. I just think there's a lot of good things going on there. He's such a good players coach. They rally around him. The Lions will be prepared for this game, and I think they come out on top.
Yeah, I obviously you guys are going to find out in a second here why I don't fully agree on that. I do see the angle though that you're portraying there on that game. And PW Nation, hopefully we get something going for you guys there. 3-3 now in the season with the free bets. See if we get those back on track. Got you guys for a survivor pick. It's chalky, but not good chalk. I'm coming with the Jacksonville Jaguars here to keep the survivor streak alive for week 7. Second week in a row out in Europe. They get the Patriots and rookie quarterback Drake May coming. Doug Peterson, I mean, you might as well stay in London if you don't win this game. I mean, this is an absolute must-have, must-win. No excuses, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But just a big advantage staying over there, adjusted to the time zone, everything else. And you have New England now having to come back for that with a rookie quarterback in his second career start overseas. That's a tough ask. Give me the Jags, who are big favorites, and I really don't want to be doing it, but I am. Jacksonville Jaguars for my Week 7 survivor pick, trying to go 7-0.
Let me ask you, Ben. Let me ask you this question. I don't know. I didn't look up the Survivor Series this week. I don't know how many are left. I assume under 200. Now, do you have the balls? Let's say there's 14 million on the line for you. There's under 200 people left. Do you really have the balls to back the Jags in this spot? I know it's your survivor pick of the week, but I got to ask you the question because I don't have the balls. I don't trust them. I don't give a fuck who they're playing.
I backed Andy Dalton and the Panthers on the road here as a 6-point dog. No fear about it. So yeah, it is a little sketchy laying Jacksonville. I had a buddy who pressed me on that. He was like, "Oh, if you were actually in the Circa Survivor pool, you wouldn't have the balls to be making these picks that you're making." Blah blah blah. It's like, what do you mean I wouldn't have the balls? Like, it's worse to say it on social media. The abuse you assholes give is way worse than anything with losing the Circa Survivor pool. So, yeah, I do have the balls for it. I can handle the P-Dub army coming at me. I can handle that.
I would say that's right. Hey, this guy handles hate really well. Probably better than I do. But you guys keep bringing it to us, and we'll keep firing back. But if you got the balls to do it on social media, then I believe you, man. I think that's a shocking pick for me. I did not know that. Just so you guys know, we don't know what each other are going to talk about on the show before we come on. We have an organized little agenda, but that's all we know. So, wow, that's shocking to me. But they are staying in London, so I see your angle and I see why. And the Pats are the worst team in the NFL, so I hope you're right there, my friend.
Yeah, me and Doug Peterson will be sweating that out together because he doesn't have a job if he loses that game. That's your survivor pick, your free pick. Let's get into some long shot props. Geno Smith, 300 plus last week. Scott, he got us good in the green there.
Can you believe that, man? That's my second win. I hope you guys are getting paid with me because I need you guys to be riding these with me because we're going to make some money throughout the season. But I think that's 2-4 on the year for me. I'm going to let you start this week with your long shot prop. What do you how'd you do last week?
Yeah, we lined up last week. We were both on the Geno poll.
That's right. We were both on the Geno pool. That's right. So good,
Yeah,
good for us.
got me in the green there on that one. We'll see if we can keep it going for you guys this week. I'm going an interesting route, so bear with me here. But Thursday night football, we got the Saints, we got the Broncos. I'm sticking with the QB, but I'm going with a rushing prop. Bo Nix over 50 rushing yards plus 550 here against the New Orleans Saints. We saw a little bit of that Sunday. I mean, we just saw what Tampa Bay just did to that defense. Absolutely torched them, lit them up in every which way. A lot of turnovers, O-line issues, rookie quarterback. There's going to be a lot of opportunities here. We saw a lot of late third downs there with the Bucs scrambling, making things happen. And this is a big game here. Sean Payton's return to New Orleans. We'll see if the young quarterback can get him going here. I think we're going to see a little bit of pressures there. He's been getting pretty mobile, pretty active the last few weeks. And then we're going to see a little breakout performance on prime time from a couple of rookie quarterbacks going to be highlighting this Thursday night football game.
I know. It should be not the most interesting game. I mean, as far as two rookie quarterbacks, Rattler against Knicks on Thursday night football, that's what we're getting this week. That was a little bit unexpected, obviously. But long shot prop this week. Can my man Bo Nix throw 2 tutties this week on Thursday night football? Can he get the job done against the Saints defense? I'm going to trust the man. I think they get down to the goal line a few times this game, and they're going to trust Nix with the ball. I'm going to go 2+ passing touchdowns for Nix, plus 245 this week. My man Nix, get it done for me, and I'm going to trust the rookie this week.
Hey, we'll see. Bo Nix took care of those on Sunday. He had 61 rushing yards and 2 passing touchdowns against the Chargers. We'll see if he can get us in the green on both of those again this week, and we can keep our QB love going here on and through week 7. And the final segment for you guys here, we have week 7 Civil War game. We're 3-3 heading into this one. We're going to this matchup that we've already touched on a few times, the Lions and the Vikings. You know where my man Scott's at. I'm rocking with Minnesota in this one. Give me the Vikings to take ownership of this division, stay undefeated, take down Detroit, missing Aiden Hutchinson. Coming out of the bye, we'll see what we can cook up here with Sam Darnold and this offense. They have looked phenomenal. And just when I think they're going to, fall apart or this is their week to lose it, that's when they continue to get it done. They looked really good out in London against the Jets. I imagine they look good here again against the Lions in this division battle. They've got their ass kicked by Detroit the last couple of years, and this is a game for them to get right against them.
They're not the real deal. I'm calling it now. Vikings are going to go on a little bit of slide. Here comes the slide. Starts this week in this divisional matchup. I think they're a good team. I don't think they're a great team. And I think that they will make the playoffs, but they won't do anything in the playoffs. This is the downturn of the Vikings. You heard it here first from your boy P-Dub. I'm going to get the win this week. Now, you guys, I should be doing some sort of punishment this week. I lost last week. I got my dick kicked in, right? Well, we didn't get any good ones. Can you guys please help us? Please, if you want me to do the 1-chip challenge, I'll do it. I'll go on my own and do the 1-chip challenge. I'll do whatever. I'll go on a date with a blow-up doll, like Ben likes to say. Whatever you want us to do. Let's make it fun. We're trying to build this community for you guys, make it entertaining for you. Please help us out. Please drop it in the comments for next week's punishment that Ben will have to do. I'll even do one as well. So drop 2 in there because I owe you guys one. So we may do 2 punishments next week. Drop them in the comments so we can get that done for you guys.
Yeah, tell you what, since Scott owes you one, if I lose, we'll do the 1-chip challenge together. And that thing is absolutely fucking miserable. I'll tell you guys right now. I've done it once in the past, and I thought I was going to have to go to the ER. So you won't want to miss out if we have to do that again. But the Vikings are taking care of business. So it won't come down to that, Scott. It won't come down to that.
That's a good question. Well, how are we supposed to continue the show with that thing if we have to do that?
I couldn't. The last time I did it, I was on a live stream and I had to cancel the live stream because I could not function. I was bawling my eyes out. I couldn't breathe. And then, next thing you know, for 5 hours, I felt it going through and being digested. It was like a burning hole in my stomach. It was all clogged up. Fuck those chips. They should be illegal. But we'll do it. We'll do it for you guys.
I don't want to do that shit, but I will for you guys. So bring it on. Bring on whatever you got for us, we'll do. All right? Within reason.
That's the Week 7 P-Dub Report. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Drop some comments. Let us know what you think about the free picks. Let us know what you think about the Civil War game. Let us know some punishments, and we'll be back next week for more for you guys.
Hey, drop us a like. Hit the subscribe button. Turn that bell on. Do whatever you got to do. Remember, The show comes once a week, and we're going to be dropping daily free picks for you guys. So turn the bell notification on so you guys get notified of that each and every day. And let's go, B-Dub Nation.
See you guys.